Hey everybody, this is Patty from the Biker Map, and we are here today at Baron Motorcycles. So this actually is Alex and A-Rod.
Yes, known as, guilty as charged,
Yes.
Alex Rodriguez, so A-Rod has stuck over the years.
Yeah, so A-Rod wanted to come in and talk to us a little bit about the bike night that Baron Motorcycles is having this Friday. So y'all need to come down to Baron Motorcycles. It's going to be an amazing time. I know that they have like food trucks. Tina has food trucks coming in.
So we have 2 food trucks last I checked. We also have a live DJ that'll be here. But the most important thing, actually, I'm going to skip over some of the fun stuff because it's going to be a fun time. You guys know, if you've ever been to any of my events or if you've ever been to Baron for any of the events that Chris and Tina throw here, it's always a fun time. But the important thing is that this one is actually going out to help support the family of a fallen biker. Unfortunately, a young man by the name of Gio, very well known in the community, did lose his life in a motorcycle incident. And so the important thing about this bike night is that we are going to have a great time. But of course, some of his family members will be here, some of his friends will be here, and we're going to try to raise as much support as we can for his family in this time of need. So that's the super important part. But yes, we're going to have a DJ, we're going to have food trucks, we're going to have food and drinks, hint, hint, and we're going to have a really, really great time like we always do at any of our events.
That's amazing. It is a great cause for sure. Yeah.
So of course, the donations are voluntary. You don't have to give a donation to come here. We don't want anyone to feel that way, but we are going to have different incentives once you get here to get you to get to that $20 limit. That's our personal goal. Is if everyone was to give $20, my gosh, you know, if a few hundred people show up to a big party and everyone gives $20, and leaves feeling like they did a good thing and it was worth the $20, which is our goal, to make it worth it to you, then that's going to be really great.
Yeah, that's amazing. So Baron Motorcycles, they are located at 16770 Links Court and in Fort Myers. So come down. It's Friday night, July 26th, between 5 and 10.
5 and 10, correct.
5 and
so
10.
It starts at 5. It officially ends at 10. Again, if you've ever been to one of our events, you know that there is no cutoff time. We're going to hang out until everybody feels like going to do something else.
There's going to be food trucks, which I'm so excited about. Food trucks, music, and vendors. So I hear that there's a DJ coming.
So there is a live DJ coming. There's also going to be a couple of vendors. We're being very selective about who the vendors are because, again, the important thing is for the memorial, but there will be people here that have been approved by not only Baron Motorcycles, but also because we have a close relationship with the family, Chris and Tina do in the store and everything, also approved by the family that they're comfortable with them being here while we're celebrating the life of their lost son.
Sure.
So.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Kreigers Kennels. Can you tell us about Kreigers Kennels?
We did one recently for Kreigers Halfway Kennels, and that is run by Stacy Krieger and her husband Joe, and it's run out of their own home in Cape Coral, Florida.
Oh, wow.
So what they did was they gutted out their garage, they put kennels and wash stations and everything in there, and they are really a halfway house for animals that need so much medical attention they can't be adopted. So let's say, for example, someone rescues or surrenders, in some cases, an animal. So maybe the police go to somebody's home and an animal's being abused. Well, when that goes to the shelter, it can't be adopted right away because it needs certain medical care before it gets to the adoptable point. So that's when they step in, because Stacy does have a background in veterinary science. And so she takes the animal to their home, recuperates to the point where maybe now they can be introduced to a regular person. It goes back to the shelter, or hopefully the shelter's already been in contact with people and it goes directly to that person, out to their forever home. So that's why it's Kreigers Halfway Kennels. So at any time she could have 8, 9, 10. I can't count how many dogs. I do know that they just celebrated 100 animals processed. That's dogs, cats, you name it, even reptiles. I have a couple of snakes that I actually adopted. One of them, my snake Frost, was once property of the Cape Coral Police Department because they got a call. And here was this big giant snake. And so through the process, we like supporting our local businesses, and it's a business, even though it is a 501c3 charity. So all of you who want to make donations, they are legit. She finally got it this year. She's a 501c3, so everything's not coming out of pocket. So that's really, really nice. And
that's amazing.
and so we supported them recently with a bikini bike wash, and we had food trucks out here for that, and it was a ton of fun. And now we're going to be having this bike night event where, of course, the main focus is going to be for Gio and his family. But as always, we're going to support this young lady and her family who's personally gone and done so much in the community to help these animals in need. Because remember, at the end of the day, animals can't help themselves. It is up to us. Because, you know, a cat can't speak on its own behalf. And when you have a litter of kittens that's abandoned by somebody in a box, that's where they end up going, to these shelters. And the shelters call someone like Stacy, who says,
Right.
hey, I'll take them on.
So let's get into it. So
All
what's
right.
going on, A-Rod?
So I had Slang Be Death already.
Okay.
Slang Be Death is my small little photography thing that I was doing more
Yeah.
as a hobby. And then I got better at it, and people kept encouraging me, yourself included,
Right.
encouraging me to go do more with it. And so now it's actually a legitimate social media promotion company.
Okay.
So what I do is photography. I'm dabbling in videography.
Slang
I'm not
Be
great
Death.
at it. Yes, Slang Be Death. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, and website coming soon. I'm still working on it. And so now what I do is I get hired out by Von Baron and a number of other places, and they hire me for whatever they need. So I can do anything from just inventory photography. So I come in and take some pictures of your inventory. I can do promotional photography. So I have a nice roster of semi-professional or professional models that I've worked with for years, and they'll come out and pose with your units. So that way you'll get more hits on social media. Or I can do event coordination. So for Savage 4x4, of the day after bike night, the morning after, I'll be waking up early and going and having a truck and Jeep show there. Also supporting Kreigers Halfway Kennels. So we kind of mesh the two events together.
Sure.
Friday night bike night here with all my two-wheeled brothers and sisters.
Okay.
And then the next morning, wake up early with all my off-roaders and go out and do another event supporting.
Yeah, because you do kind of both. You do the motorcycles and you do the big trucks.
Guilty as charged.
The monster trucks. And
so the trick is, I'm going to let you know what the trick is to have dual income, no kids, D-I-N-K, dink, right? So I met an incredibly beautiful, incredibly intelligent woman years ago when I was working at Harley Davidson, who, by the way, was riding a Harley Davidson, fell madly in love. I'm not sure with her, the bike first, but either way, it worked out. Lacey, she is amazing. And so I got very lucky with that, in that she was already into the same things that I was into, and nothing wrong with having kids, but I had no interest in having kids, and I have no interest in having kids. So we just spoil each other.
Wow, you know what? I could see you guys having kids though.
Everyone says that.
You would have like an amazing kid.
Wouldn't we though? But we're not. So don't get your hopes up. I know Lacey's mom and dad, who are also like my mom and dad, don't get your hopes up. You're not getting any grandkids that don't have tails that wag and 4 legs.
Well,